All right, in this screencast, the gas law we're investigating is Dalton's law of partial pressure. And Dalton's law of partial pressure is one of the simpler gas laws. It really says the total is equal to the sum of the parts. All right, so since Dalton's law says the total is equal to the sum of the parts, we're going to consider total pressure is equal to all of the parts that we would add together. So P1 plus P2 plus P3, and these are all pressures of gases, and you would continue adding as many as you have. In the case of the scuba diver here in our picture, the tank that he's using has a pressure, and it is equal to the pressure of the O2 and the CO2 and the H2O vapor and any other gases that are in there, and they all add up to be the tank pressure. Another way of looking at this is if we are collecting a gas by bubbling it through water, which is often the most common way to collect gas in an experiment is you collect the bubbles. The P total equals the sum of the gas pressure and the water pressure, because when you bubble a gas through water, it's going to pick up just a little bit of the water vapor as a pressure as well. So you have to consider the total of the gas that you've gathered has both the gas and the water. All right, so here's a sample problem, and it's pretty simple actually. It says in a scuba tank there's a mixture of gases. If the mixture includes 27 kPa of O2 gas, 19 kPa of H2O, and 15 kPa of CO2, what is the pressure of the tank? So we're going to use Dalton's law, and that's P total equals, in this case, P of O2 and P of H2O and the P of CO2 added together. So in this case, we're going to take the 27 kPa and the 19 kPa and the 15 kPa. Now, remember, these all need to be in the same units in order to add them. So sometimes you might have to convert the units to make them all agree. So when we add up the 27, the 19, and the 51, our total pressure ends up being 61 kPa. All right, here's another example, and this one I want you to submit as homework in Schoology under the assignment marked Dalton's Law. So what I'm going to have, I'm going to read this problem because this one's a little bit different than the one we just looked at. It says in a scuba tank there is a mixture of gases. If the mixture includes 27 kPa of O2 gas, 19 kPa of H2O gas, 15 kPa of CO2 gas, and some N2 gas, what is the pressure of the N2 in the tank when the tank is at STP? So here's the deal. We have the same law, total is equal to the sum of all the parts, and in this case we have a pressure of O2, we have a pressure of H2O, and we have a pressure of CO2, and now we have a pressure of N2. And they're telling me that I have this STP here. So that STP stands for a standard temperature and pressure. And this particular pressure that they're giving me in STP, I want you to use that as your total pressure. So I'm asking you to insert a number here that you're going to pull from your brain, and the numbers for O2, H2O, and CO2 from the problem, and you're going to solve for the PN2. So I'd like you to set up this problem, show the work, and submit it in Schoology.